Good morning, my Metaverse family. Welcome back to On-Chain Gaming, or good afternoon or good evening. Today's video might be titled, Is Axie Infinity a Scam? But what it's really about is whether or not Axie Infinity's economy can continue to operate long-term, or whether or not the economy will eventually collapse when the growth runs out. And this is a really interesting question that I've kind of been wrestling with and thinking through logically and thinking through economically about like how the system actually works, what's required for the system to continue to work, and then whether or not there is an existential threat ahead for Axie Infinity. Because right now it's kind of reliant on the continued growth of the game in order for people to continue making money. So the question is, when the growth ends, does the music stop playing? That is going to be today's topic. I have what I think are some very interesting things to discuss regarding this topic, so I hope you guys are ready for it. If this video sounds good to you and it sounds like a topic you're interested in, remember to leave a big thumbs up, hit subscribe, click that notification bell, and now let's roll the intro. On-Chain Gaming. So let's start this off by just saying that Axie Infinity has had some incredible growth over recent months. And if you have not been paying attention to the NFT space, the growth that Axie Infinity has been having might take you by like a huge amount of surprise. When I learned about this game about 6 months ago, there were about 20,000 or less daily active players. If we look at this tweet from Axie Infinity from July 17th, it says that we now have over 150,000 daily active players. And this tweet was also about them improving their servers. They had to stop doing the daily quest for a while because the growth was just so insane. And now they've finally brought back the daily quest because they've stabilized their servers a little bit. But if we look at another tweet here, they said, thank you, we are now the #1 NFT project by monthly volume. You can see that the monthly volume of 46.9 million, this is actually outdated now. I think it's over 60 million a month in monthly volume. And that was an increase of 346%. You can see the number of traders exploding, the number of NFT sales exploding. And what is just absolutely insane is that Axie Infinity now has more trading volume than both CryptoPunks and NBA Top Shots and OpenSea. Literally, there is more trading on Axie Infinity than there is trading on OpenSea. So it's just really, really impressive what the Axie Infinity team has been doing. So just one last little statistic I want to show you before we get into the longevity of this economy is their active users data that they shared. And this is just of the last 180 days. But yeah, you can see that in February, that's about when I discovered this game, there were almost no daily active players, almost no monthly active players. Actually, the number of daily active players now looks to be a little bit higher than the number of 30-day of monthly active users that there were when I first discovered this game. So yeah, we've been seeing exponential growth. Like literally, we've been seeing several doublings of Axie Infinity just in the last 6 months. So it's really, really impressive, and it's led to things like SLP being a very, very desirable crypto token. But that's enough of the stats about the growth of Axie Infinity. Let's talk about the economy of Axie Infinity now, because I think before I can explain to you whether or not I think the economy has a long-term potential to continue thriving even after growth ends, you guys need to understand exactly how the economy works. And for those of you guys who have played Axie Infinity, it's not that complicated, you probably understand, but I know that a lot of you guys who are watching this video have not yet played Axie Infinity, so this might be a very important explanation for you. If you want to play Axie Infinity, the first thing you have to do is purchase 3 Axies. And after you have your 3 Axies, then you get to participate in the Axie Infinity game. And by participating with your 3 Axies, and participation means that you're battling in the arena against other players, you're battling in adventure mode just against computer players, but by winning these battles, you are rewarded with smooth love Love Potions, or SLP, which is an Ethereum ERC20 crypto token, and I believe it's worth over 10 cents per SLP. And by winning a battle, you can easily earn over $1 for winning a single battle that only takes 3, 4, 5 minutes in Axie Infinity. So it is this really incredible earning mechanic. But why does this SLP have value? Well, it gets back to how the economy works. SLP is required to breed new Axies. So in order to breed a new Axie, you need to play the game, you need to grind out some SLP, and then your two Axies can breed together. Now, each time an Axie breeds, it gets more expensive, and each Axie can only breed a total of 7 times. Now, this is an important little caveat because it limits the Axie growth that can exist in the game. It slows it down drastically because you can't just keep on breeding an infinite number of Axies. Like, if you want to keep breeding Axies at a certain point, you actually have to buy fresh Axies off the marketplace, or only breed your new Axies and don't sell your new Axies. Maybe you just sell your old Axies after you've been breeding them. But the only reason, and this is really important, the only reason why Smooth Love Potions have value is because the Axies that you can breed with the small love potions also have value. And this is where the economy could run into some issues, because if this all makes sense to you, so you buy an Axie to earn SLP, to breed Axies, to sell Axies so people can buy Axies, to earn SLP, to breed Axies, to sell Axies so that people can buy Axies, to earn SLP. So you can see how it's a very simple little circle that's going on here. But if one part of the circle falls apart, which is going to be the desire for people to buy more new Axies, like, this is a really long way away. I should put a caveat here. This is super long time from now that this will happen, because there is still a ton of growth potential ahead for Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity still has a ton more countries that even need to hear about the game. Axie Infinity can get a lot more popular in the United States when crypto gaming starts blowing up. So I'm not saying that this is like an existential threat for Axie that's coming soon, but in the long term, I'm thinking like 10, 15 years out, eventually every single game hits its max popularity. And that isn't to say that, like, after a game hits its max popularity, it just dies out. I mean, just look at League of Legends. It's still thriving, even though it hit its max popularity a long time ago. But Axie Infinity isn't reliant on this player-driven economy. So the only way that I can see in my mind from what I've been thinking about regarding Axie Infinity, the only way that they can continue this economy, keep it healthy long-term, is to integrate some kind of mechanic into the economy where you maybe burn Axies. You destroy some of your Axies in order to level up maybe one Axie that you like the best, even above where you can currently level up Axies. So the idea is that if you integrate some kind of natural burn of Axies into the ecosystem, so where people who are already playing the game, you don't need new players to come in to continue keeping the demand going for Axies, but if even current players want to burn their Axies and buy more cheap Axies to continue leveling up other Axies, then that could be a way where you could continue the demand for Axies long term, because people want to keep on burning Axies, leveling up Axies, buying more Axies to keep burning Axies. And I should note that there is another mechanic in the game which causes players that already own their 3 Axies to want to buy more, and that's the energy mechanic. And actually, I just bred a bunch of my Axies in order to work through the energy mechanic. So if you don't know, the way it works is if you have 3 Axies, you don't gain that much energy every day, so you have a limited number of games you get to play every day. Like, I think you can earn SLP in the arena off of maybe like 30 games a day with only 3 Axies. But if you get to 10 Axies, then you start doubling the speed at which you gain energy, so you can play a lot more and earn a lot more, and then that number even increases again, and the speed at which you get energy increases again if you have the next threshold of Axies. So that is one smart mechanic by the Sky Mavis team to ensure that people want to own more and more Axies. But yeah, long term, this is kind of some of the stuff that needs to be thought about. Axie Infinity, right now, the reason it's blowing up is because it has the best play to earn economy out of any game released so far, by far. And yeah, that's an incredible thing, and I highly recommend playing Axie Infinity. And like I said, I think this game has many years of growth ahead for it. And I have talked to Jiho, and he has said that they have thought about different Axie burning mechanics and ways to keep this economy healthy in the long term. So I know that the Axie Infinity team is very smart and is thinking about all of these things as well. So I don't think it's really anything that we have to worry about as players. Like, if 5 years pass, it looks like Axie doesn't have many more places where it can grow, and there still hasn't been any improvement on making and ensuring that the economy can be sustainable long-term in Axie, then it might be time to worry a little bit. But this team is working on so many things. I know that they have this on the roadmap. My final conclusion, in the end, what I've come to is that yes, the economy might not be perfect as is, but Axie Infinity team, they're smart enough, they're thinking about this enough that this is not gonna be an existential threat long term. I think the Axie Infinity team is gonna find ways to make the economy more and more robust over time, and there's just gonna be more stronger play to earn mechanics. And as long as there's some kind of burning mechanics implemented as well, then this game is gonna be totally fine. So I want to take my opportunity here to share an idea that I have. So I think that Axie Infinity in the new Lunacia should allow players to randomly hunt Axies in the wild and capture Axies in the wild. Now, after listening to this video, you might be like, wait, that's I thought you said they need to burn Axies, not create more Axies. That would ruin the economy even faster. So this is where my idea part comes in, which makes it kind of brilliant. What if, in order to hunt a wild Axie, you needed to release 2 of your own Axies into the wild as like a hunting fee? So that would create a burn mechanic, and it would be a fun thing for people to be able to do, where they can try to hunt a wild Axie in exchange for releasing 2 of their own Axies. Now, you might be thinking, well, why would someone release 2 Axies in order to find only 1? What if wild Axies could evolve a little bit, or have children and special wild abilities, like morphed abilities that come about in the wild, so that wild Axies might have unique abilities that didn't exist before? So it creates a burn mechanic, it creates a fun hunting mechanic, which reminds you of Pokemon, like finding new Axies in the wild. So it's a burn mechanic, a hunting mechanic, and it is a fun way to introduce new types of slightly morphed Axies that are not like mystics. Like, they don't have mystic parts, but they just have wild parts that are slightly evolved. And yeah, I think it could be a really fun mini game in Lunacia. So that is my idea. If the Axie Infinity team is watching this, I don't know. Maybe that's a good one. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a big thumbs up. That will help out the video in the YouTube algorithm, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, it makes the algorithm recommend the video to more people, so it's super awesome. And then if you watch this whole video and you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Make sure you hit subscribe and click that notification bell, and you'll be notified when I post new blockchain gaming videos, because that's what this whole channel is about. Play to earn crypto gaming. I'm just super excited about it, and I know that it's going to be the future of gaming. And yeah, hopefully you guys will join me for that journey. And then before we end this, I just have to say thank you to all of our patrons. You guys are incredible. Thanks for allowing us to make these videos. I very much appreciate it. And then so does the team who's working on this channel, Nate, my brother, who's editing these videos, and Josh, our friend, who's doing all of the sound effects and music production for these videos. So thanks so much for your support. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can check out our Patreon link in the description below and learn about all the benefits. And until next time, everyone, have fun playing Axie Infinity. Don't worry, the economy is going to be fine, and have fun roaming the metaverse.